The Honourable Scott Simpson.
Thank you, Mr Speaker, for the opportunity to participate in this debate, and in doing so I want to echo the words of my National Party colleagues who have already spoken. It's National's long-held position, Mr Speaker, that the referendum, or a referendum on the treaty, would be divisive. We therefore do not support this bill becoming law. We believe this bill is a simplistic approach to what is a very complex issue and will not deliver the equality of opportunity that National believes all New Zealanders deserve. Mr Speaker, over successive decades, New Zealand has grappled with how to deal with the treaty. And it's not realistic to suggest that almost 200 years of debate over what is an incredibly complex and challenging issue would be resolved by the passing of a single piece of legislation. It is too blunt and simplistic and risks stoking grievance and driving division. National, therefore, Mr Speaker, takes the more difficult but more practical and enduring approach to dealing with treaty and race issues. And that is to work together on these issues, case by case. Mr Speaker, successive national governments have worked well with Māori on treaty issues, and we have a proud track record of progressing treaty settlements to address historic wrongdoings. We know we won't always agree with each other on the best way forward, and that is to be expected, Mr Speaker,
give it a rest,
on an issue as complex as this. For instance, Mr Speaker, National does not believe in co-governance of public services, and we don't agree that having a separate Māori health bureaucracy or a co-governance of local water assets is the way to achieve equality of opportunity. Just as we do not believe that this bill will help us to achieve the equality of opportunity all New Zealanders deserve. National was elected to rebuild the economy, to restore law and order and deliver better public services. This bill does none of those things. Mr Speaker, the reality of MMP is that parties...
Constantly talking like that is not interjecting. It's being disorderly. There are two members particularly who've done it repeatedly throughout the afternoon, and I've been very, very tolerant. But they should remain silent for the next 2 minutes and 10 seconds. At least. Actually, a couple of days would be good, but... The Honourable Scott Simpson.
Hope springs eternal. Mr Speaker, the reality of MMP, as I was saying, is that parties are required to make compromises to form a government. That's the essence of MMP. And National has made a commitment to our coalition partner that we will support this bill to select committee. And we will honour that commitment today by voting as such.
Stop there. What did I just say about constantly talking? No, it wasn't them. I was looking directly at the member who is in my line of sight at the moment. No, please, enough.
As I was saying, Mr Speaker, we will honour that commitment today by voting as we have agreed in our coalition agreement. However, National is united in our view that this bill should not pass into law, and that is why we will vote against it at second reading. Thank you, Mr Speaker.
Yeah, this is coming from the same party that says blame Labour for everything, and yet they're making exactly the same mistake that Labour made in 2006 when they had that coalition with New Zealand First. It's like, oh, yeah, we'll blame them, but we'll make the same mistakes.
Yeah. The one about the health, shutting down Te Kiwi-Birb, which always, and no one really says it. So we've got this huge health disparity, and we're going to go back to doing exactly the same thing we've done forever, and we hope something different happens. That's the essential logic behind their shutting down of Te Kiwi-Birb was an attempt to innovate. Let's see if we can do something different and better. No, we're going to go back to the same thing, and here's hoping we get a better outcome. It's mindless.
Yeah. They have systematically destroyed our health system. As a frequent flyer and one who
actually
basically terrified of the next 2 years and how our health system's going to look. It's scary, but Te Aka Whaiora, we just finally got Tama, Te Ao Marama Aotearoa, the first pan-iwi, pan-disability rōpū in the motu, finally got them negotiating. We were working with them around having our voice in there. It was an opportunity finally for disabled Māori to get a voice. Now, why is that important? Over 67% of Māori are disabled by the age of 40. 33% of Māori have a disability, which is higher than the average national. So tell me where we've got our privilege there. The other part of
negative stats.
Well, but that's just it. They don't get it. They tell me I've got privilege. I have multiple sclerosis. Guess what? I was refused treatment for 25 years because I'm Māori. because Māori don't get MS, apparently, until I found a piece of research done by Sir Mason Jury, along with another team, which said we do, but 2.5 times less. So guess what? I didn't get treatment, and now it's too late to treat me. I can't walk, and I could only be treated if I walk. So they waited till I couldn't walk to finally admit that I have MS, and now there's no treatment. And that's the problem we have. They think we have some kind of privilege. You tell me what the privilege is.
Oh, they just make up the privileges.
Look, I go into the prisons. I used to write the cultural reports. I was talking to those prisoners. Most of them had some form of untreated mental health disorder or neurodiversity sitting in there getting worse while they remained untreated, and then they are released. And where do they go? Who picks them up? The gangs. Who picks them up? The crims. Who picks them up? The police again, because they're back inside. And so the cycle continues. Until they give us equity, we remain underprivileged. Certainly no privilege in my world, that's for sure.
Okay.